Good morning. This is Dr. Kannan from Changalpet, India. We have been talking about the ancient relationship between India, especially Tamil Nadu, and that of Kaya Federation in the ancient Korea. In modern times, if you land up in Korea, especially if you are from Tamil Nadu, you will find striking similarities rather immediately, like the expression of calling your parents like Amma and Appa and a lot of other things. But in a lot of other things, the cultural elements need to be included. For example, the food habits of Koreans are very different from their neighbors, the Chinese and the Japanese. The Japanese are very Western and their food is very bland. And the Chinese have some vegetarian varieties, but still it's also quite bland, not spicy. Whereas the Koreans, just like the Tamils, eat a very spicy food. They eat raw chili, okay, in the diet, and their food is really very spicy. They have an item called kimchi. The kimchi can be prepared from any vegetable that's available, and the kimchi is nothing but the urgai, what the Tamils call. Urgai is a very beautiful word that often says that Urgai in Tamil, if he explains, Uriyagai, Urumkai, Urukindrakai, Vinaichal. So this word denotes a lot in Tamil, and so they wanted to preserve the vegetables in the form of uh, a pickle. A pickle is a very great invention of the Tamils, and reasonably, the Greeks and the Chinese came to India mainly for the spices. The spices are especially preservatives. So the spices preserve those vegetables for a very long time. So when you put salt, oil, and few other ingredients, you can keep the vegetable for a very long time. And so, though vegetables and other things are grown plenty in India, but they also have this habit of eating urgai, which is always very spicy. And I was very surprised to see that in Korea, people are eating kimchi all the time. I think there is no meal without kimchi. Even if you are eating noodles, they will offer you kimchi. So one gets addicted to this kimchi if you are in Korea. And this is a very striking similarity between the Tamils and the Koreans. Even otherwise, apart from kimchi, their food is very spicy, and there are a lot of chilies in their food, and so it is a very spicy food one could see. And then, of course, taking care of the parents and giving respect to the elders, leaving the shoes outside the home and giving the money with your right hand. And quite a lot of, if one gets into it closely, one can find a lot of such similarities between the Tamil Nadu and that of Korea. And the ancient story tells that Chembaulam, called Chemba, who landed up in Korea, she took some instruments as well. And one of the important instruments she took was yar, the harp. So yar is of different varieties as described in ancient Sangam literature. And this harp has been taken from India and they are using still that. And there are certain drums, okay, those drums are exactly similar like the Udukai, what we call in Tamil Udukai. You see Udukai also there. And most interestingly, the Tamils, at the present Tamils have forgotten to play this instrument. This is only men play the murasu and all those big drum instruments. But in Korea, the women still play it. And I was very surprised to see that Mutteduttal, that is diving into the shallow waters and then take the pearl. The pearl industry is though not very famous like the pearl industry of the Pandyas, but the habits are still there. And interestingly, the pearl divers are always women in Korea. And I noticed recently that in Tamil Nadu also the pearl divers are women. So there are certain Sangam connections that actually is still preserved in Korea, the reminiscence of that ancient connection. We'll go further later. Thank you very much. Bye.